for better or worse, welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis. Our opponent is Dynamo. And the name of the deck I've created is called Churning Out Soldiers. And this is part of a new series that I'm doing called Decks That Beat Me, because this was not my original deck. There were a bunch of Yoshin tacticians that beat me with Vesuvian Duplimancy. So they beat me pretty fast. So part of what I started doing is keeping track of the decks that beat me 4, 5, 6 turns. And that for whatever reason, I just didn't have much of a chance against them at the time. Let's go look for something. We could get a board wipe or we could get our combo. We are here for the combo. If we lose, we lose. There are, 2 of our 3 board wipes at the bottom of the deck. Duplimancy comes out. We have everything that we need. We have the 2 most preferred versions of soldiers that we want to duplicate. And we have a 1-mana spell that we will use to cast on it. The way Vesuvian Duplimancy works, if you haven't seen it before, it's a mythic rare enchantment from Dominaria United. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you control, you create a token that's a copy of that artifact or creature, except it's not legendary. So we can duplicate stuff and we don't have to worry about the legendary rule. If we did, we'd have to put Mirror Box in. There's no Mirror Box. What is our opponent going to do? They're going to wait. They're going to rope us because they're blue and they have to think a long time. What did they get rid of? They discarded a discard spell. Okay. So does that mean we're into graveyard shenanigans? Just what I need. Somebody who's going to discard Portal to Phyrexia and then bring it back. They've still got 2 mana. They could remove it now and deal damage to my 1/1. No, they're going to build up the reservoir and still kill my 1/1. Okay. We're tapped out, so we're in a kind of vulnerable position. But I think he's figured out the combo already between Tactician and the Duplimancy. He's looking at our graveyard. He's looking at Survivor of Corliss. He's looking at everything. We can see the highlights. My playtesting of this deck has gone horribly. One of the most frustrating in all of Magic the Gathering Online is that cards seem to work for my opponent, and then when I try and use them, they don't work for me. And we didn't get any land. And he's got all these other spells he can play. We're going to duplicate Siege Veteran. We know he doesn't want to lose Lear. So let's see if we can overwhelm him before Lear does what Lear is supposed to do with whatever's in the graveyard. Since I now have 2 of these, if one of them dies, I still get a soldier artifact creature. And thanks to Yoshin Tactician, it won't be a 1/1, it'll be a 2/2 already. None of these spells in and of themselves are enough to take me out. But he could have Fading Hope, which would get rid of, that token, for example. And if he's got Fading Hope, he could cast it twice. if I didn't mention it before, I think I did. They're blue, they have to think a lot. Okay, 3 damage, so they can kill the Yoshin Tactician. And my Devious Cover-Up's not going to work, because counterspells don't work with Leer. But both of my soldiers' abilities are activated. They killed the one soldier, I get 2 more tokens. And we wait for the roping. They're blue, they have a lot of things they can do, you gotta give them time. Notice, we're missing land drops, our opponent is not. If you're new to the channel, you'll learn soon enough that I say stuff like that. Alright. Now what do we do? How about Rafine's Guidance to give me another soldier? Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Down to 12. If you kill the soldier with Rafine's Guidance on it in, I'm going to bring Rafine's Guidance back and cast it on another soldier and make another duplicate with Vesuvian Duplimancy. That's why we include Rafine's Guidance in the deck. It would be nice if we got one more land, maybe? So we could do some stuff. He's looking at Duplimancy still. Okay, I don't think he can get rid of that one. I think you're stuck with it on the field, buddy. Okay, we have Play with Fire. What else does he have in the deck? A Braid is gone. Notice he didn't miss a land drop. I gotta point that out. He has so much extra land to deal with, he's just throwing it away now. And 6 mana. More than I've had the entire match, as he tries to figure out what to do with it. He can sacrifice the reservoir now, right? Just using a bunch of Play with Fires. Still has 4 mana. Can you get rid of the other soldier? Yes, you can. Alright. Do I have time to do this? You don't have a counterspell, so I don't know what you're holding up priority for. It's probably just his Play with Fire. If I had one more land, I could put down the Commando and then duplicate it with Rafine's Guidance. So, turn 8, and I've still only got 4 land. Thank you, Magic the Gathering Online. Notice my opponent didn't miss a land drop. You can start singing along with me if this sounds familiar, folks. He's got me outnumbered 2-1 on land. We're doing what we can with what we got. But we do need to stop being land starved at some point. You threw away the Spellroom Painter on a turn when he's got Summoning Sickness and you pump him up when he can't attack. And now you're looking at my 1/1s because they're the ones that are bothering you? Okay. We still got that Play with Fire. Yeah, come on and attack. I don't really care about that right now. My health is kind of high. Shoot. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll duplicate them. Well, you're tapped out. That means we get 3 of them. And we use 1 to get rid of the pesky reservoir. Now if he kills one with playing with fire, maybe we can still duplicate some more later. Depends on how much removal that he's drawn. He's got so much land. You can just cast anything that he's got. And I have to say the odds are against us at this point. We still haven't gotten more than 4 lands. It's turn 9, I think, because he's got 9 lands. I don't think he's missed a land drop yet. Oh, jeez. This guy merciless. I think I'm dead next turn. Oh, look at that. I got 1 land. I can go look for something. Is there anything here I can use? I can put Danik down, I guess? And we can cast this from the graveyard and duplicate them twice. And I think we're dead. He can just buff up the flyers and fly over my head and hit me. So I think we did a good job demonstrating the ability of the deck, though. We were able to, you know, when you're able to get 2 creatures down off of a 1 mana spell because you've got these enchantments set up, that's not bad overall. But literally, the type of deck he's got, all he needed to do was hit his land. I mean, look at how much extra land he ended up with. He had 3 in the graveyard. That's half of his entire land, and he managed to get through half of his deck. I'm not going to cut this. I'm just going to keep rolling. I'm going to record it because you guys need to see the disadvantages a free-to-play account goes up against. We'll show you the whole deck now. Doesn't matter. I got my 15 wins for the day, so we don't care how many losses we take. We're not going to miss the reset. I'm able to do this because I just recently got my 4th copy of Vesuvian Duplomacy. So we can have 4 in the deck. See, I finally got a 2nd copy of Plaza Heroes too, but that's irrelevant right now. Okay, so this is still the main star of the show. We have 4 copies of Yoshin Tactician. That is one of our first choices to duplicate with Duplomacy. The other one is Siege Veteran. I only have 1 copy of that one right now, but those are the best ones to copy. I also have 2 copies of Valiant Veteran. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1, which is the exact same ability as the Brothers War creature, but this is from Dominaria United. So, to power Vesuvian Duplomacy, we have Homestead Courage, which lets us use it twice due to the flashback, and Rafine's Guidance, which has an ability to recast it from the graveyard. It costs more, but it's basically permanent flashback. It's repeatable flashback. We have 1 Survivor of Corliss, 1/1 First Striker. If we get these other +1s up, she can become like a 5/5 First Striker. That's awesome. We have some counter spells. We have a Wash Away. We have a Defabricate for artifacts and enchantments. We have a Dissipate. And we have a Devious Cover-Up, so we can throw anything else that ends up in our graveyard back in our deck. We have 2 board wipes. We have Depopulate, And we have Vanquish the Horde, and if I'm going too fast, you can pause anytime you want and look at these cards. Cathar Commando is actually a soldier too. We're using that to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. And we only have one copy, but if we can duplicate it, we don't have one copy. We have multiples. We have one dog to draw a card. Gives us a nice little 2-drop. And we have 4 impulses to dig through our deck. We have one Tolarian Geyser so that we can return something like a token to the hand and make sure that that doesn't bother us. And if we kick it, we gain 3 life. And it replaces itself. You get to draw a card, so I don't mind having that in there. And anything else? Yes, we have one copy of Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim, which technically, if he comes out at an opportune time during a match, he could just take over the game. Other times he needs support. So I got beat with this because they got a couple soldiers out with Vesuvian Duplimancy, and they just created soldiers too quickly for me to catch up. And that is the overall goal. And I feel like we did a good job demonstrating how the deck worked. It seems almost like we should have taken the board wipe. But I really wanted to demonstrate how the main concept of the deck worked. So we did that, so my mission is accomplished regardless. Let's see, for everybody new, I always have to keep in mind this might be somebody's first time watching one of my videos. So, my name is Travis. We're at Tpull's Corner. I'm naming the decks even if whether I'm creating them or not. The name of this series is Decks That Beat Me because the deck that I'm showing you is one that beat me. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like button. Anytime during this whole event. And if you think you might want to see some other new stuff that's coming up soon, hit the subscribe button too. So it's already given me pieces of the combo. I just need enough land to do everything. And will I survive long? Ooh, gross. Will I survive long enough to get everything done? I don't think I will. I think I'm dead already. I got the little 1, 2, 4 drop, and I didn't get any one of the 3 board wipes. And I didn't have counter spells ready. So I think I'm just toast. There's no way to stop the draw spell or anything. I had the combo ready, but it was not ready to go. It was mono black too. That's still one of the heavier decks that's out there. But you know, so we do have, you know, answers. We do have board wipes in there. We do have things we can do. You notice Magic didn't give them any of them to us at all. It just gave me tap land, tap land, tap land. Okay, we lost a couple times in a row, so we finally get to go first. That doesn't mean we'll win. I have to sit through this stuff. I guess if you guys want to speed through the video, you can click ahead a few seconds to when we actually get the battle started. I got a full-time day job, so when I hit record button, we don't edit, we just go. Much like the free-to-play account we have here, we work with what we got. And we don't got a lot of time. I've got usually enough time most of the days to get my 15 wins in. And if I can record while I'm doing that, then that's bonus. If I have any extra time to actually make another deck and record it, that is gravy. Adeline, gross. I'm not doing anything. We're going to plan on killing Adeline with a Ganjo. We'll see if that works. We'll probably exploit the 1/1, right? They'll draw 2 themselves. But they're tapped out. Oh, never mind. I was going to say they're tapped out, so it's a sure thing that we can get rid of Adeline, but I don't think it's a sure thing anymore. We'll try it. Okay, that part works at least. Alright, assuming Duplimancy comes out. Another land would be nice. Alright, so we put out Yoshin Tactician. We go ahead and duplicate it with the Duplimancy. If we had another turn, we would have put the second Duplimancy out, so we could have duplicated it twice. But we don't have that kind of luxury here. Ouch!
Right.
I can give those
Let's
things
clean
flying.
up this town. Be brave.
Yep, flying. Alright, hopefully that's all they got. It doesn't matter, they killed me. So 3 losses in a row, even though I got to go first, even though I got my combo out, even though I was able to eventually use the combo. Did I mention that this was a deck that beat me in like 4 or 5 turns? And now I'm playing the deck. I'm not having any kind of luck with it at all. There's a couple things that people who've been playing Magic a while get frustrated with. One is if they flood out with land. 2 is when they get starved for land. And both of those happen to us quite often every day that you play. So it's part of the game. But the part that gets really frustrating is when you see cards put to good use. Oh, and you're only going to give me 1 land now? But I lost 3 in a row, so it doesn't matter against a 250 card deck. Okay. I got my automatic win. We hit reset. We're starting over the 15 wins. Can we have a real match, please? Not one that's rigged. Okay, we go first. You give me the land that I usually want to save to use as a defense. So we'll save it if we can. Let's bring out Survivor. I'm a survivor. Let's search through our deck, find something good. Ugh. We've got a Duplimancy. I only have 1 copy of Teferi. I gotta take him. I'll use the Ganjo for my 4th land, and we should get a 5th before too much longer. There we get the Duplimancy. They've got access to green, so they could disenchant it, destroy it. We're waiting to see what type of deck this is. It's a Basuju deck. Let's go ahead and take the soldier. Hopefully they don't have 2 of these in a row. As soon as many journeys, there's another card that never works for me, but they have the extra land ready to go. Even though they didn't miss a land drop, they just used Vesiju, do the ramping, and then they had Azusa ready to capitalize on it. And they just have, oh, they got rid of a prize fight. They got rid of a prize fight. They must feel confident. We're going to attack. They choke. Okay, here comes the tree branch. Exile, then return. What happens if I counter? What happens if I counter the activated ability? Hello? I freeze the game. That's what happens. Okay, so I have to choose. I want to counter this one. Does that mean it happens again next turn, or does that mean that I foiled the saga? It works. Sweet. Yeah, I can handle as many journeys. There comes another Besieger. Okay, I did what I could. I only have 1 copy of Defabricate in the whole entire deck. I'm not getting the land. No reason to save up mana then. Let's take this. We've got 1 blocker. The second, that gets rid of Vesuvan Duplimancy. I can only do 7 damage right now. Six damage. Life. That does 7. We'll do it that way. Attack with everybody. No guts, no glory. Yeah, that was lethal the way you had that blocked. That's lethal. It still lives. Alright. Well, they managed to get rid of the Duplimancy, but we still managed to take out the green-blue. With how many lands did they get down? They got 9 to R5? Wow. Alright, I think we're going to leave it there. I don't want to make the video too long, but I think you got the gist of how this deck works. We'll go in and show it to you one more time. If the machine will stop freezing up on me. We take this opportunity to remind you to like and subscribe. Come back to Tpull's Corner. We'll have a new deck for you next time. Alright, I'm not sure if Teferi really belongs in here, because you saw by the time we actually had enough mana to cast him, the game was over. And maybe that's the way this should really be designed. So maybe that was a bad choice. It's just, I have 1 copy of him. He's mythic rare. He's awesome. I feel like there should be a way to use him. But maybe maybe I just need to think of something else, like another 4-drop or 3-drop. Or maybe, actually, just because it takes me forever to get my lands. And I've got 24 lands, so it's not like... I thought, because I have the Spirited Companion, and he replaces himself to draw a card, and I've got Tolarian Geyser, which replaces itself with drawing a card. You know, I thought with Impulse that I can also go look for what I've got 4 different times. I thought that would be enough that I wouldn't have too many land troubles. But I get starved a lot, and every now and then I flood out. So I'm still having those problems with this. Overall, it's not a bad deck. If you can get the Duplimancy out, it's very hard. If you can just get 1 soldier and 1 way to duplicate it, you can really run away with things really quickly. And every now and then, if they do manage to hold you off, you might get. I actually have 3, right? I have by invitation only, where I can choose between 0 and 13. So with our ability to duplicate a lot of creatures, maybe we actually outnumber them if they have just 1 or 2 big ones. But we've got 3 opportunities to do board wipes if we need it. Usually that's not enough in the decks I make, but that wasn't our focus for this one. We're not really concerned about board wipes. We really want to build up a lot of creatures so that we don't have to use a board wipe. If we have too many creatures, the board wipe would actually work against us. So I didn't want to overload the deck with that. We don't have much other in the way of taking things out. But I did like the way that we could just counter the activated or the triggered ability from the Enchantment Saga and get rid of the Enchantment Saga. So that raises Defabricate in my view, and makes it more likely in my blue decks that I might include more than 1 copy at a time. So that's the big thing I'm taking away from this. I'm not sure how often I would play with this deck. It seems too inconsistent for me. Let me know in the comments what you would do to change this and make it better. And we'll leave it there, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks. Have a good one.